Hey guys, Akil Stokes here, host of the Trading Coach podcast. You may not know this, but when it comes to this podcast, I don't use any outside help. There's no producers, no editors, just me. Now, don't get me wrong, I love every bit of the process, but being a one-man band also comes with a massive time investment. That's why years ago I switched from my previous podcasting host to Spotify for podcasters to streamline this process. Here I can save time by doing everything from a single platform, whether it's audio, video, scheduling, editing, even recording ads like this. So if you're someone that's looking to start a podcast and want to streamline the process so it's simple and as time beneficial as possible, I recommend going with Spotify for podcasters. I personally use them and I can personally recommend them. So what I'm going to tell you today seems to go against everything I've preached in the close to 1,000 episodes of the Trading Coach podcast, but trust me, it will be beneficial for you. Today we're going to talk about how feeding those negative urges could actually save your trading. Check it out. It was a very good day for simple, non-flashy, price action, structure-based trading, which is the type of trading I like the most. I love advanced patterns, don't get me wrong. They have been a staple in my performance for over a decade now. They're fun, they're cool, they have wings, they have funky names. But the trades that get me the most excited, and this is why I kind of flock to it, and it is a little bit of an ego, is the price action structure-based trades. And again, not that you should trade off of your ego, but we all do have a little bit of an ego. What I like, patterns for some reason always feel like it's kind of cheating. I know it's not cheating because you're doing analysis, and that is as we've had discussions over the last few weeks about impulse legs and anchor legs and what counts as a B leg and a C leg. It is a lot of analysis, which is not easy by any means. But for me, it always seemed like connecting the dots, like, ooh, do. There's something about a structure or a price action based trade in comparison to patterns, in comparison to like a moving average cross strategy, where it feels like I did work. And I don't know how to explain it. It feels like I earned it. It feels like I went out there and I did manual. It's the difference between like sitting in front of a computer and trading, where I don't really feel like I'm working, versus like going out there and getting my hands dirty and like actually earning it. And again, that's not necessarily why we should trade. We should trade to make profit and make our life as easy as possible. Don't get me wrong. Like people that do like back-breaking manual labor for a lifetime, they're usually the end of their life is pretty bad because their body is destroyed. But I hope you get what I mean by is like you kind of feel good about yourself. You feel like you accomplished something. I've always had that feeling with those structure and price action based trades, which is why kind of one of the main reasons I flock to them after kind of having a solid portfolio of pattern trades. I needed to feed that bit of my trading ego, because if I didn't, I'd probably start doing some other dumb stuff in the market. So I was able to identify that this is kind of like an itch I have. How can we scratch it instead of kind of ignore it and have it develop into something different? Because it doesn't seem like it, but like we have to do something with these urges. Right? We have these urges, we need kind of relief, where it's like, for me, stress as a trader, this is one of the reasons I work out so much, right? Because trading is stressful. I need something, especially after my rough days, I need something to release that stress. So like for me, running, biking, lifting is a way for me to kind of get that out of me, right? I've read stories before, and again, one of the most impactful books I read was a story about trading psychology, and it was a trader that went home and like abused his family, like verbally abused his family, like just because he was frustrated and he needed to vent. And after a rough day at trading, guess who was the first people in front of him? His wife and kids. So he'd like be an a-hole and yell at them just because he was mad at trading, and he ended up losing his family. And that was a big fear of mine, of like, how do I get this frustration out? And deeper than that, I've always had like, I don't want to call it rage problems, but I've always had like not anger issues, but growing up, I tend to keep all of my anger in, and that it kind of explodes and erupts in a non-productive way. And I saw that at the beginning of my trading career as well, where I would kind of keep everything in, and then it would explode and erupt in a big trading mistake that would like ruin 2 months of profit. So um, something that I like doing, but something that allowed me to kind of get that out of my system. But you know, filling that scratch is the same way. You know, I heard this technique before as well, where a lot of you guys will trade a certain style, and you'll see all these opportunities in the market that aren't technically in your trading plan, and you'll want to take them, you'll want to take them, you'll want to take them, but you can't take them, and eventually you do take them because you give in. And I had a trader that I worked with here at Tier 1 that was like, Akil, you know what I do? I have a separate account, and it could be demo, but in this trader's case, it was a very small account, like an account with like some fun money in it. And he said, in order to avoid the mistakes on my main trading account, I keep this separate trading account where I get out my, I think he called it his urge trades. So when he sees like a trade he wants to take, but it's not in his plan, but like, you know, you get that urge, that temptation to do it. He actually opens up this second account, takes it with like, I don't know, like the smallest position size possible. I don't think it was a micro lot back there, a mini lot or whatever was lower. I think it was like one mini lot he was trading or something like that. And he would take it. And that was him just like getting that release. Now that he took it, he felt better, right? He put a little hole in the thing, allowed all that pressure to deflate, and he never made mistakes. I mean, I'm sure he made some mistakes, but he never made those type of mistakes in his main account because he addressed that urge, that desire in a separate account. So it's really interesting, right? Because I know in my mentors like this, where it's like you hear about, you know, psychology, right? We got to be robotic. We got to be disciplined, right? You guys hear all that stuff? Discipline, the disciplined trader, right? Well, let's be honest. Easier said than done, right? I can tell you how to. It's no secret how to lose weight, is it? Work out, eat healthy, right? Easy, easy. I can make millions, millions selling weight loss strategies. Work out, eat healthy. Boom. But it's not that easy, is it? It's not that easy in practice. It's not that easy to just say like, hey, I'm going to go sugar free right away. So you have to find a way to kind of allow yourself to give in to some of those urges, but in a way that doesn't kind of blow up the main objective. And you know, it was a cool method, that separate account. So if you're someone that's feeling that way, give it a try, or you end up implementing a strategy that you do like to kind of fill those ego type of urges. But yeah, those are always my favorite. All right, a few questions came through. I'm ranting already. Sorry. Thanks for supporting the podcast. You guys have been very supportive in tuning in each week. Speaking of each week I do a trading video, right? So looking at charts and showing opportunities on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked that out already, make sure you do so. Just YouTube search Akil Stokes. It'll show up. There'll be like a million videos. Start wherever you want, but tune in weekly as well as during the week for kind of the midweek videos as well for some awesome trading content, more specifically related to technical analysis and doing work on the charts.